Chamonix was definitely the mecca from early on. And then we've got the Matterhorn, which is just one of the prettiest mountains that we'll ever see. And this is it. That's why, to me, it's so exciting. And this will take us 7 days. In some places, very, very remote. So e-bikes, yeah, they're so key here in the Alps. They're just so fun to ride. My name is Élise. I have been teaching mountain biking and guiding here in Verbier for the past years. I'm also a professional pre-ride skier. So really trying to make the most of the mountains. And I truly fell in love with the heart of the Alps here in Verbier, right in the middle of the Haute Route, really. I started mountain biking as a teenager in France, and we were doing every summer 10 days crossings from Burgundy to the south of France and many other places. So it feels so true to me to go on multiple days journeys that I'm really glad to be guiding Haute routes with e-Alps in the summers here at home now. What we will cover today, well, the idea is that by the end of the stalk, you will understand the terrain, the rhythm, the challenges, and all of the magic that comes with this ride. And we'll try to make you understand how to prepare for it properly as well. Before we dive into the day-to-day journey, let's zoom out and understand what the Haute Route is, really. It all started 1 century ago in the 19th century when the English Alpine Club initiated alpinism as a hobby. They were the first ones. They were so amazed by those iconic peaks, and so they just started to climb them. Chamonix was definitely the mecca from early on because of the Mont Blanc, which culminates at 4,800 meters. That would be about 15,000 feet. And it is the highest peak of Western Europe. And then we've got the Matterhorn, which is just one of the prettiest mountains that we'll ever see, I guess. And the Matterhorn in Zermatt is just a little bit tinier, but it's so special. So in the 1860s, those hikers, the English ones, they really wanted to link Mont Blanc to the Matterhorn. And they started finding routes, hiking in the summers through the glaciers, high alpine traverse, very remote valleys with the least gear that they had at this moment. And they managed to create a proper route going through. In 1911 is when the first skiers, so 4 mountain guides from Chamonix, opened the first winter traverse. And with their 2 meters wooden skis with climbing skins on and leather boots, they managed to find their way through the glaciers in the winter times. And this is it. That's why, to me, it's so exciting to follow the path of those pioneers on the Haute Route in a very different manner on e-bikes. Let's have a little look of where everything is happening. It's in the middle of Europe, in Switzerland, and really, if you check out the path right here, we are at the point where the 3 borders meet. So if you look on the map, just next to the Chamonix Mont Blanc dot, I can show you right here. So we've got right here where my pointer is, the border with Italy in the south, and then France where Chamonix is, and Switzerland on the east side here. And this is the place where the Alps start shaping a little corner. So there's a lot going on. Weather-wise, sometimes the clouds will get stuck on one side, not the other. And there's, very interesting storm cycles that can happen here in the area. We have the global Haute Route on e-bikes here on the screen. And this will take us 7 days. 7 days of going up and down 12,000 meters. That would be about 42,000 feet up and down. We'll do an average of 45 kilometers a day, and we'll go across borders, but you won't even feel like it because it's Europe. It's really nice. We'll only feel the cow fences that we'll go through because it's, in some places, very, very remote. How did this happen? Well, at e-Alps, we're so passionate about exploring that over the 7 years, we've just been taking our e-bikes and we've been going up a lot. Sometimes to find downhills, sometimes not. We have definitely found dead hands, non-rideable terrain, and a lot more. But we have found in the end also our favorite trails. So we've created a map with all of them. And that is what we're excited to show you. Because the route that was designed for the Chamonix to Zermatt path is not really a point A to B route. It's our favorite trails, 85% of single trails, going through the forest, the meadows, big rocks as well. Really a good mix of everything. Going, to the higher passes and really making the most of the alpine terrain. So e-bikes, they're so key here in the Alps because they'll let us access the high alpine terrain and we'll be able to ride longer days with double batteries most often and without getting in the red zone necessarily, just so that we can enjoy the technical descents afterwards. So it's a really good mix. For me, it's a balance of effort, adventure, and enjoyment. Here's a little look with this video of the landscapes that you'll be able to experience. Cool. And this is where it all starts. The journey starts in Chamonix, and we do strongly recommend that you arrive a few days early if you can, just because luggage management sometimes during travels can be tricky. So we make sure that you've got all your belongings arriving with you. You might get used to jet lag and acclimatize with altitude as well if you can make it a few days early. Also, Chamonix, pretty much my favorite village in France. We can see my favorite bakery right here on the picture, just on the right side. And really, the village is so authentic. You're really feeling the alpinism vibe out there. And you're facing those giants, those mountains that the English have been aiming for a century ago. So it really makes sense to come and explore Chamonix a little bit before we get on the ride. Because this is first day. First day, we'll get used to the bikes. We'll get them fitted and make sure that we feel really good on them. And we'll go for a peaceful start and then our first uphill so that we can overlook glaciers with views on the Mont Blanc. And we're really straight in the big scenery. It doesn't take long with our e-bikes. Views are just exceptional and we come to the first pass. And then we can look over to Switzerland, where we're going to go down in order to spend our first night. Verbier is where we're going to wake up on day 2. And we can see the village right behind the sign out here. It's really cute, facing the glaciers. I mean, it's home for me. It's definitely my favorite place in the world. So I'll be more than happy to show you around. Verbier is really well known for freeride skiing because it's been hosting the finals of the Freeride World Tour for about 30 years now. But in the summer, it's also developed into a mecca of e-biking. They do have a great bike park and also very nice enduro trails, which is where we're going to start our day to get over to the next valley. And after having been in Chamonix, Verbier, pretty famous places, we'll be with the nice sporty crowds. And then we'll be with the farmers. Because the next valley over is so remote. And it's beautiful. We're going to mainly see cows more than humans. And we'll be able to ride this beautiful ridge. That's one of my favorites at some point. If you have vertigo, there's a little canopy just on the side as well. So we've got options. This is lunch stop. Definitely one of the best moments of the day as well is when we meet up with our support staff coming with the van for lunch, and they'll prepare whatever they feel like that's fitting the season. If it's snowing that day, because sometimes it snows in August, we'll get a warm soup, or if it's really warm, a little salad. It's definitely a heartwarming moment. And also recharging our batteries because the afternoon is awaiting. Day 4, okay, one of the most challenging. The uphill here is so good. It's got so many little switchbacks and things that you never thought you could do on your bike. Well, with those e-bikes, with the Bosch motor, they just fly. And you'll be able to manage obstacles, sometimes a way you would never thought of. So that's one of the most exciting appeal that we have. It goes up to a pass at 10,000 feet. And really you can see on this picture how the landscape is switching. It suddenly becomes very rocky. It's actually really nice and review walk. So to ride on, it's perfect. It's very often snowy around there as well. There's a lot of wind. You can really feel the elements at this point. And at the highest point we will get at during the trip. And it leads to my favorite downhill of the week. Honestly, going down towards this little lake in the back is like aiming to paradise. It's absolutely beautiful, so flowy as well. And you really feel like you've earned it after the big hike that we've just done. Actually, any hike that the bike won't go up, we've got a walking mode on these bikes. So it's very easy to just step on the side and push the bike. It will go up by itself. Then we will keep going with really nice views. We're actually getting at this point towards the Swiss German part. And it's funny because we're coming from France with the baguette and the croissant of the first day and diving into the French part of Switzerland. The mood, the culture already changes and it just keeps going. Like the trip really culturally is evolving when we get to the German part because it's totally different. They sometimes people from the Swiss side and the German and the French side won't even understand each other, but they share really the same roots. So it's really nice to hear them talk about it as well. At this point, the team has become friends. It's so nice to see that through the challenges and sometimes through days of harsh weather or days of beautiful weather, everybody really starts to bind. So it's amazing to see how the groups really hold together at this point in the week. And here we are facing the Matterhorn. This is the last day. We're arriving in Zermatt and we can see the tippy point of this very famous mountain. Honestly, it's prettier than the chocolate bar. And I must say, it's pretty emotional. Also, it is the payoff of finishing the big traverse that we've been going through for 6 days in a row. So it does feel amazing. And it lets you reflect on life, really. Finally coming to the objective of the full week. And every morning we've been waking up with this goal in our head and we're finally reaching it. So it's quite satisfying, I must say. On the last day, you would have 2 options. We'd recommend coming riding with us because the trails in Zermatt are very pretty. You can get very close to the Matterhorn. There are different areas that you can ride that do have a bike park as well with flowy trails, with some jumps, and it gets very playful in the area. So this morning, you can come riding, or if you'd like to enjoy coffee and just walk in the village because it's Zermatt in the end and it's an opportunity to be there that morning, then you're more than welcome to do so. You can also stay in Zermatt for a few more days if you would like, or we can transfer you back to Chamonix if you prefer. This is what this is all about, the Haute Route. And yeah, after so much effort, getting this reward is quite nice. I hope this has given you a good idea of what we're going through. Honestly, I can't get bored. I would definitely do it every week of the summer just because it's unbelievable. And also every week is different because of the weather, of the trail conditions. Last year we had a massive snowfall in April and we had to go and cut trees before the first tour, which makes things even more intense because sometimes you want to go on your favorite trail But by looking for an alternative, you find an even better one. And it's so nice in the end to keep exploring the zone with the team. So excited to show you around. Here is what you need to know. We'll go through the level that you need to have, the gear and the accommodation so that you can prepare for the trip if you'd like to come. So it is a moderate to challenging level route. You definitely need experience on a mountain bike. Probably 5 years or more is good to give you enough technique to go over rocks and tree routes, because we'll be crossing a lot of them. 85% of the journey is on single trails. So also you need to be used to be riding on quite narrow trails and feel comfortable as well to say, I'm going to walk this little part and really know your limits. That's probably the most important thing on this road. Some of the trails will be exposed as well. So knowing how to manage yourself is a good thing. We would definitely advise to spend a lot of time on your saddle before the trip, because 7 days in a row is a long time. So if you can get your body used to your bike before, it's definitely better. And really, the more confident you will feel on your bike, the more enjoyable will be the experience. Physically, if you're exercising about 2 to 3 times a week, I would say, you'd probably be fine. You need to feel good after a demanding workout, because that's what's going to happen. Every day we will be riding between 4 and 6 hours, and you want to enjoy it, really. It's totally okay to use turbo mode. We have a little strategy depending on the day and the elevation that we need to go through with our batteries. So we'll definitely guide you in the right direction concerning the use of the motor. Quite often, it's very okay to use turbo mode for the very steep uphills. And otherwise, we usually stay into tour. If you want a really good workout, you can stay in eco all day. But in the end, depending on the weather as well, we're pretty sure that you'll sleep very well and you'll be tired enough. We will be adapting the trails considering the weather, the trail conditions. So we'll make sure that everything is really flowy anyway. For those of you who are more comfortable on 4x4 roads, we do have an alternative that you can find on the 57 Hours website, and it's called the moderate Haute Route Chamonix to Zermatt. And they will take you on a 7-day journey onto 4x4s. So it's much more accessible. You still need a good fitness because it is a long way, but at least you're not facing so many obstacles. All right, check this out. This is our baby, the Flyer at Rock Evo X 8.7. It's the e-enduro Swiss quality that we've been riding for years here. And it's honestly so adapted to the terrain. It's got 170 millimeters travel with a Fox float as the rear shock and a Fox 38 in the front. So it will take you anywhere. It's performing quite well on the uphill. It is a mullet. So 29 in the front, 27 inches rear wheel, which gives you such a good maneuverability. They're just so fun to ride. And honestly, in one day, you feel like you're best friends already. So yeah, pretty excited for you guys to ride those Flyer bikes. We'll be taking care of everything that's attached to the bikes. So we'll have the toolbox in the van and all of the spare parts. So you just have to bring your own gear, really, which Dory would have this list. Basically, it's good to have a 20-liter backpack to have your day-to-day snacks, water if you want more than just one bottle that's on the bike. And we're definitely bringing a Gore-Tex or waterproof jacket and the down jacket depending on the time of the year, because we're in the high mountains and you never know, storms can appear pretty fast. So we're going to be prepared for this. Good gloves, good boots, good biking shoes will be needed as well. If you do not own a helmet or can't bring it for any reason, we'll be happy to provide you one. Otherwise, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, days can be muddy, days can be cold. It's all part of the adventure, really. It makes the hot chocolate even tastier when we arrive at destination at night. We just need to make sure that we're prepared for this. Lunch breaks, This is the van with the trailer that we can see here on the picture. And we're going to be meeting our team logistic at every lunch. Of course, if you've got any allergies or preferences, we will adapt the meals for you. Accommodation wise, so it will be a mix of rustic and luxurious stays, basically, because we'll be going up and down 8 valleys in total. And some places will be staying in very old buildings. You can really feel the history. It's so nice. We'll be able to, yeah, talk to the locals, which is also such an added value. One of my favorite places is the Bella Tola in Salik, and it's got this gorgeous spa. We've got about 3 to 4 spa nights. So we'll make sure that your legs are getting a nice little rest and that your muscles can be ready for the next day. When is the best time to go? Well, it's totally up to you because spring is bringing flowers and the mountain is renewed. It's really pretty. There's still snow. It's still a bit cold at this moment. And then summer is bringing warmth, which is really nice. As well, the sun is really bright and the Alps are gorgeous at this point as well. And then the fall, it's got all of the colors. Bit more chances that it's raining, but sometimes not. Indian summer could happen. And yeah, totally up to you. Logistics. Basically, the closest airport to Chamonix is the Geneva airport. And then it's really easy to shuttle all the way to Chamonix. When we finish in Zermatt, you can either stay there and grab a transfer back to the airport if you want to stay for a couple more days, or we can happily take you back to Chamonix where you started. Okay, this is us. This is the e-Alps team. And yeah, it's just so fun to hang out with the like very passionate people. So whoever you get is going to be an incredible added value because we've spent so much time on those trails. That's all we do. Whether we're working or we're not, we're always trying to explore and to go further with our e-bikes. And we'll be 2 guides for every group above 5 people, which groups can be of 10 people max. And then we'll have 1 support staff as well. So we'll be able to adapt the trails to the level of the group, to the weather, to the trail conditions. And in the end, since we're anticipating stops, we're reading the energy levels in the group, we're really creating a tailor-made adventure. It feels quite flowy. We take care of the mechanics, the batteries of the bikes, and food and accommodation. So really, you've got to enjoy the flow in the end, and that's it. That's a little look of the teams that have very good memories and gave us really nice feedback on the last few trips. Anything can happen also on this kind of journey, and we all have incredible memories of specific trips. All right. To conclude with a few numbers, the Haute Route from Chamonix to Zermatt, it's about 280 kilometers of single trails, which is very exciting. And we'll be spending 6 nights and 7 days, a lot of up and a lot of down, 2 batteries per day that we will be changing at lunch break when we were having our little lunch. And yeah, average of 45 kilometers per day and 2,200 meters. So probably the perfect amount to feel like the day is accomplished by the end of the adventure. That's great. I got so excited just talking about this trip that I almost want it to be summer again. But patience. So yeah, looking forward to see a bunch of you this summer on our alpine trails.